welcome to Susan's Kitchen Corner. Almost didn't get started there. Anyway, we're going to be making tortillas. We're going to be making fluffy tortillas, and we're going to be using yeast. So, since we're going to be letting the tortilla batch rise for an hour. So here's the whole recipe. 2 cups of flour, which I already have here. 7 ounces of milk, which I have right here. And a pot to warm the milk up. And where'd my olive oil go? Ah! Up there. No, that's not it either. Just bought some new olive oil and it's gone missing. It should be in one of these cupboards. My husband didn't put it somewhere where I can't reach it. He has a tendency to do that. Excuse me. This is intermission while looking for the vanishing olive oil. Ah, here it is. Okay, we're in luck. Got olive oil. Okay, so a little bit of a snafu right there. So what we're gonna do is, oh yeah, and don't forget the baking powder. And I'm almost running out of that too. So we're gonna put the milk. So again, 2 cups flour, 7 ounces of milk, warm to the touch, 2 tablespoons of olive oil that goes into the milk, and over here, I'll put it right there, oh, tilt this up, right here we're going to add, so we don't forget, 1 teaspoon of, this is really loose now, so 1 teaspoon of, a little bit more because it's really loose, 1 teaspoon of, if I can get it out, of baking powder, and we're going to mix it in with a whisk. It's that easy. And then get a spatula. We're also going to put 1 big huge heaping teaspoon of, just doesn't matter, just you put as much, if it falls off the side that's okay. So sprinkle that into the flour, close the lid so that doesn't fall off, whisk that in. So we got our baking powder and our yeast inside the flour. Let's see how the milk's doing. So warm to the touch. I cannot find my tablespoon, so I'm just gonna eye it with pouring it in. This usually goes generally fast. Basically, play with the milk until it warms up. That's perfect. Okay. Add your 2 tablespoons of olive oil. It's a little over, it's a little under, it's okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move this closer to the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that's better. Okay. So we're going to pour this right in, not all of it, like about that much. Work it around. It's going to spill out a little bit. Flour tends to do that. It jumps on you. Ah, really jumping on me today. Kind of cut into it. Still a little dry. Add a little bit more. Usually my little kitty's sleeping at this time. She woke up. So we're going to have meows in the background. Okay, now if this gets too wet, I'm going to add the rest of it. But if it gets too wet, don't freak out. Grab some flour and work it into it a little bit at a time until it's non-sticky. But here we go. Okay, now we get to use our hands. Okay, this is sticky. So what we're gonna do is trip over a cat. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of flour. Maybe a little bit more, like little handfuls, not big handfuls. And then we're gonna take our hand and we're gonna push down. And we're gonna fold over. Grab, fold. Now, and again, if it's sticky, it's perfectly fine. Actually, I need a little bit more flour. Okay, so work it. It's gonna stick to your hands, it's gonna stick to the bowl, it's gonna basically generally stick. Okay, and that's perfectly fine. And we got people talking in the background. Walking by. Always wonder if you guys can hear what's going on in the background. Okay, so we're gonna knead that a little bit, not too much. And we're gonna make it into a ball, like that, like you were making the bread. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it right back into the bowl that we mixed it in. Grab a lid, place it on, and that's all there is to it. And my fingers are, as you can see, covered in dough, which is perfectly fine. And I'll see you back here in an hour. It's like making regular tortillas. It's that easy. All you're doing is adding the yeast, and then that's the only difference between regular tortillas and these tortillas. Now, if you wanted to, because I'm using milk and olive oil, you could leave out the milk and use 7 ounces of water with a little bit of olive oil in it. It's perfectly fine. I mean, my husband can't really tell the well, it does make it a little bit more. There is a lot more flavor, but if you're like a taste comparison, they taste pretty much the same. But you can still taste the olive oil with the water. It just makes it a little bit more, texture's a little bit better. So, so if you don't have milk, if you don't have a big supply of milk or something, use water. And it doesn't have to be, you can use peanut oil, you can use vegetable oil, you can use, well, not diesel, but you can use oils, all kinds of oils. I would recommend, if you're going to use peanut oil, just use 1 tablespoon instead of 2 tablespoons. And then again, you don't have to use 2 tablespoons. There's no, if you want to use 1 tablespoon, that's fine. If you want to use a half a tablespoon, that's also fine. So whatever, however you want to do it, water, milk. If you want, you can use chicken broth. You can use, if you want to make them really sweet, you can use condensed milk. That may be a later recipe, because I have tons of different ways of making tortillas. And okay, well, that's about it. I'll see you later. Toodles.